Hello and welcome. Ukrainian forces have successes at several parts of the front line, and the envelopment of Bakhmut is coming closer. This and more in this situational picture. We'll start off on the northern front line north of the Seversky Donetsk here. Today we mostly focus on Wargonzo, as Voenkor and Riba have not posted much in the last hours before I finished the research for this situational picture. This is the latest posting from Wargonzo about the situation along the front line, and I'll simply scroll it through so you can pause it and read it for yourself. They said that they claim that there were additional Russian successes here at the bridgehead over the Sherebets. They talk about successes here at Horivka. In this regard, Voenkor is saying not only have they been successful there, but the Russian side also captured Serhivka, which is down here. This success supposedly brought another 4 by 2 kilometers into Russian possession under Russian control. So they claim the Russian side captured another 8 square kilometers. I have no confirmation of this whatsoever. I have no admission by the Ukrainian side yet, and I do not see visual evidence. So while it's possible, it is unconfirmed as of now. Further south, we have Wargonzo reporting that a Russian attack on Torske here failed and was repulsed. And we already switched south of the Seversky Donetsk. We have reports about Russian counterattacks at Orikhovo-Vassilivka that failed. But the bigger news is what we get here from Wargonzo again. The armed forces of Ukraine broke through to Andriivka. This is here. They have reached the outskirts of Andriivka. That much is sure for now. The Russians say it's not conquered yet. I do find pro-Ukrainian bloggers claiming that Klishchiivka and Andriivka are already liberated. I do not see this as confirmed yet. We have a map here from Riba about the situation, and as you can see, they already show the southwestern part of Klishchiivka under Ukrainian control, and they show that Andriivka, the outskirts, are reached. Riba is also saying there were claims that the mobilized personnel defending the area ran, they retreated. Riba is saying, no, this is not true, but we'll have to see. What we do have, though, and something we can see, is a video is this video here. And this was posted by the Russians of Russian artillery shelling, both in, as you can see, in Klishchiivka itself, as well as in the northern part. I have the geolocalization as well. Here we see shells hitting, and this is the ridge line here, and this was more or less in the center of Klishchiivka. The Russians are shelling it, indicating that there must be Ukrainian troops more or less until, where is it, roughly here. So the Ukrainians are solidly inside of Klishchiivka, even though I cannot confirm it is liberated as of now. Generally, though, obviously, advances here, we will have to see how fast the Russians will have to retreat further. The Russians themselves said weeks ago, should the Ukrainians get control of the high ground here, they will have to evacuate Klishchiivka. So far, this hasn't happened. Now, with the Ukrainian having reached Andriivka, reinforcing and resupplying Klishchiivka should be fairly difficult, if not close to being impossible. So we would expect a withdrawal. The question will be, where can the Russians stabilize a new front line? Will it be on the ridgeline right at Andriivka, or will it be at Upitne? But as you can see, Upitne is getting the Ukrainians closer and closer to the crossroads here, with the connection to Popasna and south into Luhansk. If this is reached, then the Ukrainians should have achieved a turning maneuver, forcing the Russians back, as their resupply will no longer be really possible in this area. So the advances are there. They are successful, but we have to see that the Ukrainians probably took like 2 months to reach Klishchiivka. So there's no serious way to say how long this will take until Upitne is reached and the high ground behind it, but at least they're making advances. Further south, we have reports about Ukrainian attacks on Pervomayske and Marinka. The Russians also attacked around Avdiivka and in Marinka. I cannot confirm any change in the control of territory. What we do have is some more information about the oblast border south of Velika Novosilka. Again, Wargonzo is saying from Priyutne a Russian counterattack happened and failed, and he claims that, or they claim that the Ukrainians themselves failed in attacks on Uroshaine and Staromayorsk. So while the fighting is ongoing there, I do not see any evidence of change in the control of territory there. This is a little bit different south of Orikhiv, here at the outskirts of Robotine. Again, we have Wargonzo saying that the Ukrainians have had some success here. I think it is here, advanced northeast of Robotine. Robotine. The Ukrainians seem to be on their way to bypass Robotine. They are definitely advancing to the northeast and are pushing down in this direction. So step by step, they are making additional advances in this area as well. Other than that, further west, we have the report of the Russians themselves that they had to withdraw to better positions because the Ukrainians switched their offensive axis from Sherebati away to west of Lobkove. They pushed in this direction and forced the Russians to withdraw, so they gained some additional ground here, which is also important because there's some high ground in this area as well. So this might help the Ukrainians to push further south and gain control over the lines of communication into Sherebianki. This was it already from the front line here. We have no new information about the Dnipro front, no change in territory that I can confirm here. The Ukrainians still hold their bridgehead on that island here, but still on the island, not on the mainland, if we want to call it this way, because there are still waterways among it. And we have more news about the Crimean Peninsula. We have Riba here reporting another Storm Shadow attack on the Crimean Peninsula. This time, supposedly, it didn't hit an ammo dump, but just like vehicle storages. The interesting part is, though, that there seems to be a discussion among pro-Ukrainian and pro-Russian commentators what is actually doing those attacks. Supposedly, the Russians claim that this is done by Storm Shadow while it's actually drones, so the Russians don't have to admit that they are incapable of defeating the Ukrainian drones. To be perfectly honest, I have no idea. I have no idea if those attacks are done with Storm Shadow or if they are done with drones. All we see is that several ammo depots blew up far outside of the range of anything but the two. So whatever it happened and whether the Russians would actually lie about the usage of Storm Shadows or not, I cannot really say much. And we have the report by the Russians that their patrol boat or light corvette, the Sergei Kotov, was attacked with 2 maritime drones from Ukraine. The Russians say they destroyed the 2 drones at 800 and 1,000 meters distance from the boat, and the boat is unharmed. At least we don't have any conflicting evidence of this as of now. And finally, while this is a short situational picture, let's at least put some humor in, or try to. Humor is always a difficult topic. And cui honorem honorem, so honor who deserves honor. This was actually posted by Voenkor. So we are talking about a pro-Russian military blog or propaganda channel, and they posted it and mocking basically the idea that the Russians plunder toilets, even though I think there have been some visual evidence of them doing it.
Ребята, я такой нашел, пошли покажу. Ебать, все девчонки в Саратове мои будут, посмотри, ебать. Гриша, нахуй, я пиздец радостный. Блядь! Ребята, я
That was
такой
it
нашел,
already
пошли.
from me for now. If you enjoyed this situational pictures, please hit the thumbs up button. Leave a comment for the algorithm, what you think, whether Ukrainians will strike next and how far their counteroffensive can advance further. And if you're new here, I would like to invite you to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you don't miss future videos. This channel is only possible because of the support of viewers like you. If you'd like to support the channel, you can do so by the means in the description. Thank you very much. to everyone already supporting this channel. That's it from me for now. Thank you for watching, and I'll be back.